Hello everyone, my name is Zach Wallgren. I'm in the parts department with Landmark Implement in the Smith Center location.
I'm Lee Sweat in the service department in the Smith Center location.
And we're going to go over some post-season maintenance on your 90 and Pro Series row unit. Okay, we're going to go over some post-season maintenance that can be done on your both 90 series row unit as well as your Pro Series row unit. A popular update that can be done to the 90 series is taking your old bushing out and replacing it with this narrower bushing here. They recommend to use a hammer drill to get that old bushing out, and then you can get this tool from us at the parts counter. It's about 30 bucks, and you'll basically use it to drive in that new bushing here into the row unit frame. Once that new bushing's drove in there, you'll take your seal and you'll slide it over here like so, and then you'll pound it in, and then you'll finish up doing the other three there. While I've got the row unit frames here, as Lee covered earlier, this will be your Pro Series row unit frame. It's only going to have one grease zerk going through the hub. This here is your 90 series row unit frame, and it's got another two grease zerks here and here.
Seed boots. We have a seed boot here that has some wear on it, and the good book gives us a measurement, a ½ inch off the bottom spec, and personally I don't like that measurement. So what we're going to do here is, you can see that this is our working action of our seed boot. We got a new boot right here. You can see the difference. You can see we're a lot thicker right here, and like I said, you know, this is what makes that seed trench and makes that place where that seed lives and grows. So when it's time for a new boot, we're looking at this sidewall, because that's where your important wear point is on this boot.
So just going back to that boot that Lee was covering on the row unit, this is the boot spring we were talking about. It'll sit in here like so, and if that's broke, then that boot will not be able to rub up against that disc and keep that disc clean. So it's very important to keep that spring in good shape.
Which, a popular question is, how much life should I expect out of this high wear boot? And just for a reference, if you had a 40-foot machine on 10-inch opening, you should expect to see 20,000 acres of life out of those boots. Here we have a used disc and a brand new disc, and these discs start out life at 18 inches, and they claim that they are good to 16 inches of life. Well, it's really easy to measure this disc sitting on the bench, not so easy on the machine. So we have our hub that holds our disc to our machine, and at 5 inches and 1/8 from the edge of the hub out, we will be at 16 inches around. So that's an easy way to measure our disc wear with the disc installed on the machine. And in my opinion, if you want longer life out of your seed boots, you know, we can go to 5 inches and 1/8 here. I would extend this a little bit more, and I would have a 5 3/8 measurement. We're not quite getting all the life out of our discs, but if we keep that disc taller, this seed boot right here won't have to work as hard. And if you let it go to 16 inches, you know, you're going to replace probably 2 sets of blades to a boot. If you replace your blades a little bit more often, you'll probably get 3 to 4 sets of discs out of a boot. So, and the disc is your cheaper and easier maintenance.
I'm going to talk a little bit about the gauge wheels here. There's quite a few options that Deere has got for these. You can run a narrow gauge wheel here. It'll give you less compaction, or you can run a wider one. Or you can run what they call a mud gauge wheel, and basically it's got these 3 spokes, as you can see here, and it's supposed to be able to let you get in there and be able to work on things a little easier. Another advantage to this mud gauge wheel here is it's got a snap ring in here where this bearing sits, as you can see. So you just take your snap ring pliers, pull that ring out, and then you can pull that bearing out, and it's super easy to change in and out there. We also sell a gauge wheel made by Needham Ag. It's very durable and very good in soybean stubble. That's a good option there. And then just one other thing here real quick. As you can see on this gauge wheel here, there's a defined lip at the very top, as well as on the inside. You want to be able to see that lip there. So I've got a used gauge wheel here. You can see that lip is entirely gone on both the front and the side of that wheel. You just want to make sure you're keeping an eye on that. And then while you're doing your check, just spin your finger in that bearing and make sure everything's freed up in there. Thank you everybody for watching. If you've got any questions or comments on your 90 or Pro Series row unit, please contact your local Landmark Implement dealer.